Today, we're speaking with LaRoche, Executive Director of Chess and Community. Thank you for joining us today, Life.
Thank you, Give Back. I appreciate, as always, having you all in our presence or having being here with you all. I appreciate it.
Ex- Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. We'd like to ask you, have you seen an increase in demand at Chess and Community for your services?
No, definitely. Usually our organization just serve Athens, but since COVID-19, we're now getting connections or an increase from kids joining us from, uh, what is it, New Jersey, Missouri, and we see a lot more families now are aware that we are in town. While they couldn't attend some of the programs physically, now they're like, okay, we can actually join y'all online. So we're definitely seeing an increase there. And in most cases, it's about just how do we better coordinate a lot of those efforts so that we're able to get all of those kids into the rooms. Now, here's the reality. The reality is, we assume that everybody have access to internet. Everybody have computers, and that's just not true. So some of the computers that we've purchased, we've been having to just pretty much drop it at some of the homes. So we are seeing an increase in participation, and in some cases, families that just need computers and internet access.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And that leads me into my next question. How has Chess and Community adapted to the new normal?
It's hard. It's hard, right? And I'll say that because we're such a physical organization, right? We're at the library, we're at Little Ice Cream Dude Shop, we at Little Italy, and the kids really enjoy that one-on-one engagement. We're at East Athens Community, doing STEM, and kids enjoy that. So having to move from something physically to everything virtually, it's been a serious adjustment because as I talk to the kids, they're like, man, I'm bored. I just want to get out. And imagine what happens when, us as adults, we can pretty much work from home in some cases. But what happens when you're a child and you're just in the home, it's just been really difficult for a lot of those kids. And how do we know if they are actually fully participating? Because sometimes we have our Zoom meetings and the kids just got the screen black. And it's like, okay, what are you doing on the other line? So we constantly have to call the kid's name and says, okay, what do you think, blase, blase? And what do you think, John? And just to make sure that they're engaging in the process. So we've had to increase our points. We work on a point system. So every time a child engage in one of the programs that we do, he or she gets a point. And that point leads to a reward at the end, like going to Washington, D.C., or going overseas whenever we do our big projects. So we try to have some type of incentive where the kids are working their way towards it. But shifting it online, it's been really difficult, but we adjust. We're adjusting. It's one thing to meet in person, and it's another thing to meet online. And when you're online, anything can happen. I'm talking and my 6-year-old son or my 4-year-old son can run in and want to talk to me. And so it's fun. In some aspects it's fun, but we always see, let's say, what's the silver lining at the end. Whereas before we only impacted Athens kids, now Athens kids get to meet kids from other states and other places who've heard about us but was never able to participate in our programs. So we took that hurdle and we turned it into opportunities. So we see that even when things get back to quote unquote normal, we probably will keep this online version so that other kids and other communities can still participate with our kids.
That's great to hear. Well, finally, Life, what does Chess and Community need from the public at this time?
We all hear the same thing, right? We need money, we need resources, we do, we need a van, right? We need vans, we need transportation, we need to be able, especially as we move back into normalcy. We're going to need transportation because we have more kids signing up. So we're going to need access to move these kids around. And our biggest our biggest fundraise is usually at our conference. March 28th, we had to cancel, or if anything, postpone our conference. And that served as a big reward. That's what helped us get at least maybe I would say 40 to 60% of our budget, our funding, so we can actually do programs throughout the rest of the year. So with the conference being canceled, I mean, it's been a blessing. We had to go online, but we know things are going to open up soon, and we still have to pay different people who are calling in and experts who are talking about different things with our kids. So we need resources. Any type of donation, I think, would help. But I think our specific need is going to be eventually getting a van. That is something we've been working towards, getting a transportation, some type of van for our students when things get back online.
Awesome. Excellent. Excellent. Well, Life, thank you for joining us today. We'll have your contact information at the end of our spotlight here. Uh, Life LaRoche,
Yes, sir.
Executive Director of Chesson Community. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Give Back, and I appreciate all the stuff that y'all doing in this community.